At what point in the strategy process would you say that risk should be involved, and when would you say is too late?
I would like to have my risk team there and involved at the very beginning. It's hard to say when it's too late, but when you're there at the beginning, and you get to create something together, rather than nitpick and make points and poke holes in what other people have come up with. But that also imposes a responsibility on us as risk professionals as well, because if you want and you demand, and I think we should demand that place at the table when strategy is being created, when decisions are being made about whether to go into new markets or launch new products or whatever it is. But that comes with a responsibility on us to show our value in that, to not just be there to make things difficult, but to come really armed with a deep understanding of what it is your organization does, how it creates value, what the USP is of the organization, what it does better than anybody else, what the competitive moat is around the organization, who the competitors are, where you can be threatened, what are the moving parts externally. Like you have to come armed with that, and you have to come ready to inject your perspective, your risk perspective, grounded in a fundamental understanding of how the organization works. And I think sometimes where we get a bit of a bad reputation as risk professionals is when we just come in and we try to just impose our frameworks and, without any real grounding or understanding about the genuine challenges facing the organization.
Yes, I totally agree, Jennifer. It's really about risk partnering with the business and understanding the objectives. I do think as well, it's not just enough to have, say, the CRO or more senior risk executives involved from the outset. You need to involve your risk managers, your teams, your analysts. So it's embedded in day-to-day processes, and they understand the strategy and how it works in practice, not just at the higher level, but through all levels of the organization and the risks team.
I think that's also about communicating at an enterprise level within a risk team and a risk function. So actually ask the people who are doing the things, who are talking to the various parts of the business, and understand it. Ask for their feedback, and you're the conduit to go into the executive level discussions, actually with some ideas as well.
Yeah, James has put a really thoughtful piece in the chat as well, just to those points about, sometimes you might have pretty good conversations going on at one level of the organization, but then your kind of operational day-to-day feels a little bit disconnected. And that's exactly the point, is that, we have to make sure that commercial mindset, that solutions focus, it actually comes through our organization, not just in ourselves.
And at a top level, the way you're able to structure your enterprise risk management framework in the top down and bottom up, should enable that interconnectivity between things like operational risk, operational resilience, cyber. So you're not talking in silos, and you don't have to, waste a lot of time spinning your wheels trying to work out what everyone else is doing. And I think risk is really important there to provide the glue, and they're the function that can be nosy across everything and actually do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it brings me on to a point that I wanted to bring up, where you were talking about this relationship management and partnering with different business units, departments. I mean, we've done quite a few of these at RiskSmart, like discussions with professionals, pre-recorded webinars, and our podcast series. And the key thing that keeps coming out, doesn't matter what the subject is that we're talking about, but it's this relationship management between the board, the execs, and the business, and those that do the doing, and how important that is to get that message across everybody. So it's interesting to see that's come out in the strategy conversation as well.